Quite possibly one of the most annoying and stressful things that a business owner goes through is how to figure out when you should increase pricing. It's often taboo to talk about, and it can often be confusing why you're even doing it if you feel like you're not ready. So let's talk about how you know when to increase your pricing. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Simpson. I'm helping you maximize your time and talents as a growing small business owner, so make sure to subscribe for new videos every week. So I'm going to give you some criteria to help you figure out when it makes the most sense to increase your pricing. How many years have you been in business? So this is relevant because obviously the longer you've been in business, the more expertise you have gotten, the more your reputation precedes itself, hopefully in a positive way, and the more you're starting to get clients by word of mouth as well. Next is continuous education. I don't know about you, but in my industry, which is the beauty industry, continued education is pretty important. It's not the be-all end-all, and there's some years you'll maybe do more or less, but it's definitely helpful to stay up on current trends and to get better products as they come out and to just up-level both your skill level and your kit. So by both adding expertise and knowledge to your brain and to your skill set, as well as adding these products to your kit, you are investing your time and hard-earned money into basically giving back to a better client experience. This in turn gives you more leverage to charge more. So this one kind of brings together the couple things I just mentioned, but increased expertise all around. So the time, the money, and the education that went into how far you've come to get to this point today. I don't know about you, but I look back 10 years ago at what I was doing, the quality of work, what I was putting out there, how I was presenting myself, and it's laughable. I mean, we all start somewhere, so hey, I'll own it. That was my journey, and it definitely brought me to where I am today. But what I was able to realistically charge back then for my quality of work and service is nothing compared to what I can today. And that's thanks to just being in business for a longer amount of time, as well as investing all around so that my client is having the best experience possible. Also remember that investing in your clients to give them a better experience can mean things that they see or don't see. So for example, obviously when they come in for a service, they see my physical makeup kit, they see the results that they're getting on their face or on their hair. Those are very visible, tangible things that they are purchasing. But what they don't see can be all the back end stuff I've done, the marketing to even get in front of them, or using a quality CRM so that they are getting, emails at appropriate times, reminders, and we are just keeping them top of mind. Next, you can look at what your competitors are doing. So I tell you to do this with hesitation and take it with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, you will never know your competitor's business inside and out, just like they will never know yours inside and out. Again, all these kind of little steps or workflows or things that I've implemented and learned throughout the years to personalize my business or to give people a better experience may not be the same as what they are doing. And that doesn't mean that theirs or yours are necessarily better. It could just be different. So you can look at what your competitors are doing. It gives kind of a good overall feel for where you can realistically place yourself in the market, because at the end of the day, you still want to be competitive while paying yourself what you're worth. If you skyrocket, you jump like a huge amount and go soar way above everybody else's price range, unless you are looking to exclusively serve a luxury market, it's not going to jive well with the rest of the market. If everybody's charging $100, but you're charging $500, yes, you could have really good reason to do so, but again, you then have to change your entire business and your marketing plan to cater to more high-end clients rather than what you think your competitors are doing at the lower price point. So the way I do this is I'll do some research a couple times a year. I'll kind of get a feel of what everybody else is doing. I'll compare it to how well my business is doing. Is it time for a price increase? And then I'll usually just about match where they are, or maybe be slightly under. Not to the point where I'm undercutting myself, my team, our work, all that stuff, but to the point where it's still a boost, it's still a percentage increase, it's still gonna benefit everybody, but maybe it'll bring just a hair more business in just because it's a little bit better. You also want to look at what the economy is doing. Now, you can't always be driven by the economy because it's fluctuating all the time. Up, down, up, down. Are we in a recession? Are we in a depression? Are we not? Is everything flourishing? It can all be very overwhelming and confusing. But at the end of the day, this is a business, not a hobby. You realistically have to be able to pay your bills in both the business and your personal life. Now, you may not be paying yourself yet if you're still in your baby days of growing your business, but ultimately the goal is to be able to pay yourself a reasonable and consistent salary from your business so that you can thrive and you can feed your family. And we all know how expensive it is to simply go to the grocery store and feed your family nowadays. So you have that mixed with rising business costs. Your overhead keeps going up, whether that's your rent or your utilities, the cost of goods to perform your business duties, all of the software products. I can't tell you how many things in this year alone have increased in both my business and personal life. It's overwhelming. So realistically, do you want to start essentially making less for the same or more amount of work that you were already doing simply because you don't increase your pricing? So keep a tab on where the economy is and what is actually happening in your wallet, in your personal and your business life. Now, as far as how often do you increase your pricing, yearly, at least in my industry, is pretty standard. I work in the wedding industry, so it is pretty standard that from year to year, prices will increase because, again, you're keeping up with inflation, you're keeping up with demand, and maybe if you're at the point where you actually want to take on less weddings but still make about the same amount, you want to increase a percentage to do that as well. So you're attracting maybe less inquiries, but you're getting higher quality bookings. Now, when you do your price increases is completely up to you. I've found that the last 2 years, my price increases have actually taken place in the beginning of August. That's just when it happened to be. It's just kind of when I was looking over everything and I was like, you know what, it is time, we're feeling it, we got to do this. And it's all kind of based on your business. How far ahead do you book? And what do you need to do to keep afloat? Some people do their price increases consistently on January 1st. First of the calendar year makes it simple, easy to remember, easy to promote, and things like that. Now, I will say I wasn't doing consistent yearly price increases until only a few years ago. So at that point, I was still kind of growing and feeling things out. It's also before COVID and before we were in a terribly turbulent time, which just escalates things quicker. So I feel like we're in a time where price increases are warranted and needed on a more consistent basis across the board than we were before. So again, it is all up to what makes the most sense in you and your business structure, but I hope that this was helpful in kind of giving you an idea realistically of how, why, and when to increase your pricing. Remember that what you are contributing to society is important and valuable. You deserve to be paid a livable wage just like everybody else. And I would argue that as a business owner, you are really putting yourself on the line. You're putting your personal person and your passion all out there to be received, good, bad, or indifferent. You are working day and night and you're working crazy hours just to grow this thing from the ground up. And unless you have a huge boost, someone who can give you like $100,000, I get that it is so hard just to kind of get to the place where you feel like you are staying afloat and this is a real business. So I would argue that you are taking on a lot more risk and a lot more work than the average person who also deserves a livable wage. But just keep that in mind because I think a lot of times small business owners are not valued as much as they should be. So remember, what you provide is valuable and amazing, and you deserve to be paid well. On that note, I did actually talk about the most profitable businesses that you could get into recently, so make sure to check that out if you're looking to add to your resume.